Hello, everyone. It is I, Dragon's Fury, aka Show, aka Shadow, aka, well, you know the deal. I got a
The
lot of
man of
names.
many names.
The man of many names. As per usual, we have Infernal with us, and we
Yo.
just want to start things off with hoping that you had a good week, and if not, hoping that this episode gets you through the last day of the week, or for some of the people who start their weeks on the weekend, then this is a nice boost. This is our big episode 7. We are still going on schmoving. We have new views, so that's cool. I checked the analytics. We've gotten another view. Ironically enough, it's still on the early stuff, so I don't know if we're getting past the early. We're trying to get them, but if you made it this far, awesome. That means you got past the craziness in the beginning, and you realize that this is just a fun place for us to talk about random shit. Which that's really what everyone needs at this point in time. Really, to be fair, I just added to Google. So I submitted that we show up on Google. So for you who've watched on Anchor, awesome. We do have the Spotify link already active. So we do have people over there. And now we'll have another option for Google Podcasts as well. The next one in line will be Apple, but that one is a little bit more difficult to submit to. So that one will come around later.
They be stingy.
It's not that they be stingy. It's just I don't know my login because
Yeah, that explains a lot of things.
I don't use it. I use my face. So it's going to take a little bit to get it submitted there because I got to remember all my stuff. But that being said, I am excited for this one because this one stems from a lot of the anime that has been out lately, and it helps me work on a transition of where I wanted to take the show because I've gotten word back from the various individuals that the show does seem to be a bit, I wouldn't say off-putting per se. It's just more of not as interesting grabbing because they're like, oh, we were talking about games. I don't know anything about games. It's like, it's just games are the key point of what we talk about, but the topics are just whatever. They're open for everyone. So just to open things up more and to bring in more people to listen and hopefully in the future watch the videos that we drop for the podcast, one being in April after we come back from our trip, that it's not just, gaming. Gaming's primary, everything else follows suit. So that being the case, isekais. And the connection being, what game would you be isekai into? And it doesn't have to just be one. Like, we can talk about all of them that we would be
No.
into, but which one would you be isekai into? And then I will give you the stipulations momentarily. So I want you to get that growing in your brain. Those listening too, as well. So if you don't know, which is crazy if you don't, but isekai means you're being sent to another world. Typically, it's from our world being like the normal whatever into some, usually a fantasy world or a similar world where you are enhanced or the norm is enhanced of what you're known for our world is known for. So it can vary to anything very similar to what we do now, or drastically different where you're fighting dragons and goblins and stuff. And pretty much nothing's off limits. You can come back as a human, or you could be another species entirely. That also happens,
I love Rimuru.
such as Rimuru. But in this case, it would be games. So that being the case, so first set of stipulations would be traditional isekai. You don't have a choice per se in the world you go to. Like, you don't get to pick your class as you would in the game.
Mm-hmm.
And so you don't have a choice. You just kind of ended up in the game. Do you survive? Um, if so, what are you doing? How, etc. And then the second one is going to be you are the protagonist style. So you get isekai into the game. You are whatever the character would be that you play in said game, if it's that style, or you are cognizant of the world you are in with your information. So you can use the gaming mechanics or systems to their fullest because you're aware of how they work because of you're from our world kind of deal. You can start with one or two, whichever. We'll cover both, but that is that. So, basically nerfed or not.
Well, if we're going the first route where you cannot choose where you go or that kind of stuff, like I feel like if I had to choose like a world to be isekai into, I feel like I would say a safe answer would either be Pokemon or Yu-Gi-Oh, because they do have video games.
Okay.
Well, because I feel like those would be the safe ones, but at the same time, that also means that you may or may not be just super bad at catching Pokemon or dueling. Oh god, I just thought of a terrible world to get isekai into. Like as much as I love Halo, I would hate to be reincarnated into that world.
Let's be fair,
Especially,
you'd probably be dead on impact.
probably, or I'll get converted to the Flood. It's like, oh, okay, well.
It's almost for individuality. Hee hee.
Oh god. I feel like for the second option though, like if you're going to be like in the protagonist role, like I almost think that Skyrim would be a good option. Mostly because it's like, I mean, at the same time, it also wouldn't be because I'm just thinking back to every time I've been attacked by 3 dragons at once. God, I hate those times. But I feel like Skyrim would be good as a protagonist because one, you're the Dragonborn. Two, you're able to learn a bunch of shouts, and if you can remember the layout of Skyrim, you can figure out which shouts to go to right away. Or in your case, you are guaranteed toes.
Guaranteed toes. So, for me, I am. So, just picking the world effects after that. Give me. What was it? Give me Warframe.
Warframe?
Yes. Because no matter where you end up, you're pretty much guaranteed at least a decent length of life. Because
True.
even if you end up as a Grenier, you guys are like you're basically just inbred clones or whatever. So you essentially just kind of have like functionality and mortality for the most part because it's almost like Star Wars style. The even Corpus, they're just a bunch of businessmen, whatever. So you don't necessarily will be in a place that gets attacked for research plan. So you can just live your life out. Technically, the humans are still on Earth in Eldion, but they're in the city, and so you know how to hunt. You know how to hunt. You have technologies, whatever. So theoretically, you still would be able to survive well enough, or find means to survive, even if you end up as one of the various species there. So that one, and it was fun because if you end up being one of the chosen that ends up piloting a frame, you're hidden on the moon anyway, so you're pretty much safe for the most part until you get to the story where they come and find you. But that being said, you still it's only spoilers if you go back in time. Like that game's been out for how long? And so you're pretty much saying for I would say Elder Scrolls, but not Skyrim. I would want to be in one of the other regions,
Like elsewhere,
literally anywhere else, like
anywhere
elsewhere,
that,
Cyrodiil, uh, what's the Great
Black
Marsh,
Black Marsh.
yeah, Black Marsh, Raven Rock, literally anywhere else. And I say this
That's fair.
because Skyrim's basically just the North.
Yeah,
Cold
racist,
as hell.
racist North.
Yeah, cold, racist North. It's no, not okay. Not really a fan
Right.
in that regard.
Yeah, it's like
Now,
I chose Skyrim just because like I know more about Skyrim than the other regions.
now on the other side, I am aware that I've been isekai'd and I'm in this particular place. Any game I play, it's perfectly fine because, but Skyrim still being, as much as I love that game and absolutely enjoy mostly everything about it, I, for the love of gods, do not want to be in that position. Because it's like, oh, cool, I'm the Dragonborn. Exactly. You're the Dragonborn. You're the guy that either A, no one believes still exists, B, the ones that do know you still exist are looking for you, C, since we find out later, the previous one's still fucking around.
Yeah, who wants us dead?
So he's coming for you. And then the fact that essentially you're not fully whatever race you may be because of that. So it's just not, it's like there's too much that happens that is just ridiculous. Negating dealing with the gods and the Daedric princess.
Yeah.
Even if you had the means of avoiding them at all costs.
Open chest and chuck the beacon.
And just don't even chuck the beacon. Just close the chest and set it on fire, kind of thing.
I was not here.
Like I wasn't here. Even if because you still have to deal with one, and the one being Akatosh.
Yeah.
So. And and Hermaeus, because you'll fuck around and read a book and then it's like, hey, by the way,
it's like, oh, this is a pretty book. Where am I?
It's like, son of a bitch. And not even like, oh, look, it's one of his books. It's just a book that was like, oh, by the way, this being exists. And then now because unfortunately, you still have to play by the rules of the game. So you would then have this compulsion to then go seek out what that book was talking about at any given time. But you will still always have it in the back of your mind that there's a guy out in the middle of a fucking lake who's gone batshit that's trying to open up a goddamn box. And you need to go talk to this guy. Why? Who knows? But you need to do it. And I feel like the mental strain of having that many things just kind of occupying your mind would just be absolutely annoying. And frankly, sanity breaking.
Yeah. All right. So if we're gonna move away from Skyrim for like protagonists, what would you say if it was the Destiny universe?
Kill me now.
Or like,
kill me now.
Like, fuck this.
Just kill me now, and hope to the various god that you believe in, the Traveler doesn't find you.
Yeah.
Because it's a curse. They're not the good guys.
Light zombies.
They are light zombies. Like, see, because we've had this conversation prior. But to anyone else that may hear this, you're not the good guy. If you think you are, you're crazy. Crazier than Segarath for freaking Skyrim. The Wabi Jack.
A weapon.
And it is like, oh, okay, that's freaking wild. And so, no, that is just no. I don't, because even giving the benefit of doubt, and you just become a light bearer, right?
Yeah.
And you're not dedicated to the nonsense, right? Just the fact that you are now immortal, functionally immortal, right?
Yep, with Dinklebot.
That not even with Dinklebot per se, just
All right,
a random
little
thing.
light.
Yeah, like just a random thing, because Drifter didn't have a ghost, or did he?
He did. No, he does. He still has his ghost.
Um, so
We just don't see it.
so theoretically speaking,
He knows to keep that thing hidden.
yeah, it's just more of kind of a thing. It's like, okay, if you do get a ghost that doesn't be like, oh, hey, we gotta go to the cult, and it's just chilling, then you're like, okay, you're now functionally immortal, and you just live for fucking ever. Barring you don't get into any shenanigating, which will happen because it's destiny.
And
So,
depending on what time frame you become a guardian, because if it's after the Great Collapse and like early on in the city's era during its prospering time, you might be asked to go to the moon where you have to deal with Crota with a whole army of guardians that get wiped.
yeah, no, not a fan. Definitely not a fan. That is the biggest curse ever. And even if you decide you want to go join the cult, you are screwed on a regular basis. And like even having the ability of is like, oh, I'm going to, use this weapon with this set of weapons or whatever, and like collect this armor that gives me, because to you in that regard would be like, oh, I feel the effects versus actually knowing the effects. So it's like, oh, I like with intellect of like for your recharging, it would be more of a kind of like a, at least my understanding of how that would be an energy level kind of thing where it's like, oh, I feel tired and I want to go sleep. It's like, oh, hey, I'm about to go just nuke something. And it was like, that broke a
Nova
sweat.
Bomb.
Right. You sending off a Nova bomb and you're like, okay, I can't do that too often because it's like I physically can tell that I do not have the energy to expend to do that again until a certain point later. So it's like, going for like a run or something.
Nova Bomb into Thunder Crash.
Right. And so though a lot of it would be, I feel like would be mental like discipline kind of deal of harnessing those abilities, and that's just saying the three. Now if we going the actual guardian style where we are just like, you're not just a zombie, you're like an uber zombie because you're tapping in the stuff that everyone else is like, we didn't even know that was a thing. And you're like, oh, that's odd because I touched this shiny rock and it told me I can do this other stuff kind of deal. You're like, okay, now you're almost a pariah at this point. And the only reason why you aren't taken to a proverbial jail is because you literally could break out of it hands down. So instead of trying to be like, okay, you need to be locked down,
Ikora would still wipe the floor of us.
Ikora would wipe the floor with us. But again, that leads me into what I'm going to say is that instead of trying to keep you locked down, they're going to be like, we'll just use you and direct that energy. And that's where Ikora comes into effect. Because we all know Zavala doesn't know what he's doing. It's
Yeah.
Ikora.
Oh yeah. But also, it's like, for example, like with the Dark Guardians, like instead of killing their ghost, they just lock up their ghost. That's what they do. Like they'll kill the Guardian, but lock their ghost up so that way they cannot be revived.
Well, yeah, like if you're gonna.
As one way to deal with the problem.
Oh yeah, because like the ghost is you are your ghost at that point. So it's just like if you can't rebuild, then you're stuck there, and so now you're stuck in a limbo, which I can only imagine is a state of knowing and not knowing what's happening. Because
Well, actually, no. I think like that's probably the closest a guardian could get to death. Well, besides actual death. Um, because I remember like reading some lore, uh, like this one guardian got taken out. This ghost literally walked into a like he did not revive his guardian. He literally went hacked a bunch of cabal turrets and just laid waste by himself. The ghost did. Then revived his guardian, who looked around at the carnage. Is just like, what happened?
right. Well, you don't. Well, obviously, it's like what happened because you're not cognizant of what's happening in your reality, but you're aware of what happened up to that point. So that's why I say it's like you know what's going on and then you don't. It's like missing time because it's like you get like a time. Well, it basically like I guess it would be closest to being asleep if you have that luxury. Because I
Yeah.
unfortunately I don't.
Hey, maybe if you become a guard, you can finally get some sleep.
Yeah, no, they would just think I'm suicidal.
Well, yeah.
Because I would be. Because I'm trying to get some sleep. I'm literally going jumping off of a building and telling the ghost, it was like, wait 8 hours before you bring me back.
Be
Kind of
one of the
deal. Like,
be one of the guardians adding to the days without incident
days,
report.
no, not even in the city. It would just literally just be in the backwoods of like the farm of something and just going off myself. Just have a random grenade and being like, this is my bedtime grenade. And just drop it. And then just blow up. And it'd be like, all right, I'll see you in 8 hours. And then you're like, you refresh and everything. It's the next day or whatever. Like that's just where I would be in that regard. Because, yeah, that just, ugh. Being a guardian is just the worst. Like, there's no real upside to being a guardian, in my opinion. Because either they want you dead because you are one, or they want you to go deal with other things that are causing a problem, and then you might end up dead because of it. And you're just like, all right, cool. What do I get out of it? Loot. Which is what
Cool.
I'm just telling myself to keep my sanity.
I'm gonna go turn that person to a gun.
Right, and then you're like, oh, I'm gonna go turn them into a gun and use them. Now I'm just like projecting my pain onto others. And yeah, it's just. And then the whole thing with what was it? The Witch Queen. That whole debacle just put the nail in the coffin even more that you're not great. Your power
Yeah.
isn't good because hey, a side effect of it going to another race is literally turning them into bombs. It's like, hey, we're super powered. Oh, but if they go down, here comes a butterfly that comes out and tries to kamikaze you.
Yeah, yeah, that's just because of the reaction between the hive and the lights reactions. Probably because the hive was with the darkness for so long, the light did not react well.
But that that's like what it's like, hey, let me turn on a light switch, but when I turn it on, the light bulb's gonna blow up. Is essentially what that was happening. It's like, hey,
Explosion.
you get to see things and then boom. It was like, then what's the point? What is the point of having it if it's this volatile? I couldn't, like, I don't know. Couldn't do it. Ridiculous. Now, did you ever watch In the Land of Leondale?
Mm, I might have, but I do not remember it.
The elf, like she was a high. It was following the high elf coming back to the game, but it's her life now.
Oh, that one. Yeah,
Right.
I've seen. I started it. I need to get back to it actually.
Yes. Yes, you do. All right, we're gonna put a pin in that, and we'll come back to that later. What was there's another one out here. Oh, okay. Here we go. SAO style, but
Mm,
you're not like you're full isekai, not partial, like
okay.
full blown SAO
Like,
style.
like you're fully stuck in the game.
Like that, the game is the world. So like
Okay.
you're experiencing it as if the NPCs were like the ones
Mm,
that are you are now the world. There's not the oh hey this is a conscious version of me. My actual body is elsewhere. No, this is my actual body now. You think you're making it?
ooh. Hmm. I feel like there is potential, but I'm just gonna say there are no guarantees. Because I would always do something stupid.
Yes, yes, you would. You are correct. That being said, I think if I'm gonna expand it, because even though the collective, as I will refer to our friend group, does not belong together whatsoever, to the day I die, I will say this: on paper, we should not interact with each other. It's a freaking problem. But if all of us were in SAO, we're probably making it.
Probably.
Only because of the fact being we're completely unhinged.
You're
So
crazy.
it's going to be GTA meets SAO.
Oh god.
So obviously I'm going to be like gathering resources, getting money, selling goods, buying this, that, and the third, and end up having an empire of some sort.
I'll probably teleport myself to some other continent. I'm just like, how do I get back?
And you would have gotten lost somewhere. Somehow not die, but you would have gotten lost somewhere. Indeed, yes.
You just get a message it's like, so I'm in a desert. We were in a tropical area. Yeah, about that.
So I'm in a desert. I was like, all right, well, when you get back, you owe whatever kind of deal. I would probably post up on one of the floor, like one of the later floors kind of deal, like just to be able to establish my empire there.
Gotta get to the later floors if that's the case.
Oh, yeah, but that's not a problem. I'm a psychopath.
Mhm.
Like, I would kill things because they're in my way, let alone there actually being a reason to kill things. Like you've seen me. I'm completely unhinged. I just have purpose. I go in to do a thing. Now while doing that thing, all bets are off. So settle that up. You're off getting lost left and right. AGS is probably getting lost with you. You got Magma
I'm pretty sure I
and
already killed him.
uh, yeah, maybe. You got Magma and Warwolf chilling as like my enforcers. Not by choice either. I literally would have rolled up on them and been like, "You guys work for me now," and they're just gonna. Magma's gonna be like, "All right," and Warwolf is like, "I got nothing better to do." And then Cecile's probably found some crazy things and be the reason why we start a drug ring. Not because I was like, oh yeah, let's start a drug ring. No, she would be the reason why I end up having a drug ring. Is because she found some random plant mixture and had like a major trip or whatever. And we just chilling. And then maybe, get some hands in some combative areas of whatever, get like a black ops team or something. I don't know. I just feel like the level of crazy is just enough that we're not going to have to deal with in like player killers or anything like that. because they're going to know is like we might not get out of this alive if we try to mess with them, and then no one will mess with us and it'll work out great. Which leads me into the other question of what which life would you, so still on Earth, like which world would you end up into, but which life would you want to take over and then live out? Like, for example, if you wanted to go to Skyrim and be that character with all of the stuff that you have amassed, or if if for whatever reason you decided you wanted to be a Sims character or something, kind of deal. Which one would you want to take over?
That's a tough one. Give me a second to think about this. Oh God, where should I take over?
I
Yeah, you go with this. I
would
need a second.
do any of my MMOs
That's fair.
because, and usually, and more specifically, one of the ones that have like a lot of the quality of life features, where it's like you can have a house, you can have kids, you can get married, stuff like that. Things where I could have a normal life,
like ESO.
in, yeah, like ESO. I could have a normal life without major threat of nonsense happening. But if I had the choice, it would be one of my martial arts ones. So it obviously would be Nine Dragons, which would be my favorite MMO ever.
Yeah.
Which we can get into more detail of that after you're finished watching Leondome, because it's similar to that premise of what that show's about, of what happened, and I want to talk about that.
Okay.
But we can get back to that in another episode.
Yeah, I just gotta add that to my list. So many things I need to watch. But yeah, so for a game protagonist to take over, yeah, I'll just stick with what I said earlier with the whole Skyrim thing. I'll just go with my Skyrim character, preferably the non-bugged one.
Oh yeah, not your Code Vein.
Well, yeah, Copain. I'm trying to think because it's like I love Code Vein. It honestly is hands down probably my favorite game. God, I'm just trying to think of fighting that boss. Oh God. All right, yeah, screw it. Code Vein.
All right, good stuff. All right, let's.
Because fun people and I did get the good ending at least. Boy, did I work hard for that.
Okay, so good stuff. Good stuff. Now, switching gears, we're going to, because I enjoyed the Reddit episode. Hope you all do too when you get to that one. Let's pop back into the game thread and see what we have here.
While you're looking at that, it's always funny going to I think it's Bondi's. I think Bondi's the one that made Code Vein. It's always funny whenever they post stuff related to it. Like it's like, hey, it's the second or third anniversary, and everyone's just like, so when's Code Vein 2 coming out? Like there are so many people that would love to see a Code Vein 2, but I include it just because like it's such a good game, and with the good ending, it does it it does lead to the fact that like you could have a sequel, but I feel like it does present a bit of an issue since Code Vein is in the same world as God Eater. So it's like I feel like if they were to do a Code Vein 2, they would have to figure out a way to like have the revenants of Cobain interact with the, I forget what they're called in God Eater. Well, God Eaters.
Yeah, the God Eaters. Oh, okay. This is this one's for the not the social justice warriors or whatever. This is just
Oh,
the
jeez.
calling out the problem of the gaming community that we need to address. That
The many issues.
the of many issues, but we really didn't talk about like what's going on here. The twins from Atomic Heart.
Oh dear God. Just seen that one coming.
I just want to understand why why there's down bad and then there's this is a new level of just ridiculousness.
I mean, this is a game that gives those people their fantasy of getting stepped on and kicked and all that.
Yeah, you can get that from anything else, but they're literally faceless. They do not have a face. They just have
They actually do.
they have a face under the visor thing.
Yeah, yeah.
Does anyone actually see it on a regular? Because I only see them with the
I've
face.
I've seen clips of the face, but I think it comes down like later on in the game, from what I can tell. I have not played the game. Kind of want to get it because I've heard it's a bit like BioShock. So I'm kind of interested. Though the vending machine is kind of steering me away.
It is. I'm just like, yo, guys, calm yourself. Like, this is ridiculous. It's like going into a department store and then just losing your mind over a mannequin. Like, that
I'm
is
terrified
what
of
this
those.
there are those and they need to be watched, but this is what the equivalent is to. I don't like, you're so down bad. It's a robot. And this is before, and I'm not talking about like after you like played the game and then you like personality this and whatever. I'm talking about like when they just announced it, like before it dropped, and all you saw was just two robot twins that are just whatever, just a female figure. Nothing crazy. It's just a female robot figure with no face. And people are losing their mind. Oh, like, send help. I don't know what kind, but send it. Because it's needed. This is ridiculous.
Yeah, no, like, I really, like, it has really gone down. Because, like, I remember when the gaming community was going, like, head over heels over Lady Dimitrescu from Resident Evil.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then you also had 2B from Nier Automata.
That one is closer to the, like, I don't understand. Like, Lady Dimitrescu, I understand because it was, like, exaggerated. It's like, oh, very classy look with, giant gahungas. So, like, I see why, like, it caused the reaction it did, because it's like, even in regular proportion, that would be a collectively attractive look. So yeah, you just turned her giant and like, here we go. Now we have a Ragnarok scenario, and there's just like, all right, cool. Yeah, if you know, you know. If you don't know, go watch the show so you can know. It's great.
Yeah, I'm so glad that the second season came out.
And then like 2B, it's like she's blindfolded. You don't
You rarely see her eyes.
Like, you rarely see her eyes.
You see them at times, but it's rare.
And it's post-apocalyptic kind of deal. Like, everything's trying to kill you. I don't get it. I don't get me wrong. Like, there are, people in games where it's just like, yes, please, and thank you. But it's more so because I've equated it to, like, actual people. I'm not being like, oh yeah, the character in the game. It's more of, can there be a person that looks like this? Like I want this to become realistic versus like losing
well,
my mind over because they're not.
I mean, as we know with cosplayers, yes, it is possible.
Yes, it is. And thank you for their service of creativity and greatness that is cosplayers.
You all have talent. I will like
And you all
I
scare
salute you
me.
all. Yeah, you scare the hell out of him.
You scare the hell out of me. Talented people scare the hell out of me. Because that's just in your brain. That's just how you see the world, is like a master builder from Lego movie. Like that, you see the world differently, and it scares the living shit out of me.
I'm scared of the people that can build those complex Legos.
Well, yeah, talented people. It's a nice umbrella of people that scare me. So, there's a lot of them out there. But for the love of God, do not stop, because I consume the content that they create. So I am happily scared of these people and support them. It is what it is. Did I send you the Broly one?
Yes.
Yes. Yes. That's all that needs to be said. Just yes. And could you imagine Super Saiyan form? That would be great. I'm gonna need them to do that.
Like, not Super Saiyan 4.
Well, just next form Broly. Just please and thank you.
No, it sounds like you need to make a comment.
Nah, I wouldn't be able to handle myself. Okay, so I don't know. Remember the Akali one I sent you way back when?
The dude, right?
The dude, yeah.
Yeah.
Every now and again,
that guy still scares me.
Every now and again, I still get like a like on my comment that I put on that dude's video. And I mean, it's been a while.
I mean, your comment is probably at the top of that comment list. That's probably why people
Which is crazy.
I mean, I get one mostly because I commented saying that like how to like shock an old person when someone asks like, what's a VHS? I comment on someone's video and like that one's still getting likes as well.
Yeah, no, it is wild. He definitely needs to be monitored because he's way too good at it. He got a voice too, like because that video, like the audio that he used for that, I was like, that's you created this audio. They were talking about you. They weren't talking about themselves when they made that audio. It was you, because you're a completely different person and you're a cosplay. And good googly moogly. Problematic. Ironically enough, haven't seen any of his other stuff since, so I was like, what does that say about the algorithm? Come on.
The algorithm is failing.
Show me the cosplays. That's what I want to see. Favorite indie game.
Oh. That's a good one. Man, I'm trying to remember because like I feel like the last indie game I actually played was, oh god, I think it might have been Five Nights at Freddy's 4. I think that was the last one I played. But favorite, just because of its, soundtrack, I'd have to give it to Undertale. Though gameplay, I feel like I would say Subnautica.
Ironically enough, there was a post about Subnautica that I passed. Hilarious.
Oh. Yeah, because I played a lot of Subnautica. Never beat the game. Maybe 'cause
Hands down, Journey.
Yeah, that one is a good one.
Yep, Journey. And then the fact that they made a second one called Sky People, just as good. Or no, People of the Sky. My dyslexia kicked in. One of those. It's one of those. It's really great. It's on the Switch.
I'll look into it.
And,
yeah, no, like some Nautical, that's a fun one. Terrifying if obviously if you have some kind of fear of the deep ocean or just the water in general, probably not the game for you.
Wouldn't recommend it.
Well, you also don't play a lot of those kind of games.
No, because that's what I have you for.
Yeah, well, yeah, I'm the horror guinea pig. Because it's basically a horror game. Because you jump in the water, all of a sudden you just hear a Reaper Leviathan in the distance. It's like, I'm going to die now.
This is where I die. I'm in danger.
It's like the water's your friend. No, the water's trying to kill you.
It's trying to kill me. There was so that is that be mine hands down. Like there's not even other ones because
no contest.
Well, no, because like I didn't play Undertale. I didn't play Subnautica. I didn't play.
I mean, to be fair with the Undertale thing, it's like I got about like halfway through the game, because I was doing my best to stick to the pacifist route. Well, because like there's different routes you can get, and if you kill one person, it's like you're no longer near the good ending. And I messed it up in a fight, so I'm just like, I'm done. Like
yeah.
that's what happened to me in Dishonored. Because with Dishonored, you to get like I guess a true or good ending, you cannot kill a single person. And I put someone to sleep. They fell into the water. That counted as me killing them.
Yeah, because they drowned.
But I didn't put them there. I just put them to sleep.
You directly.
Indirectly.
No, that was directly. You putting them to sleep is the reason why they ended up in the river. Because if they weren't asleep, they wouldn't have been in the river. I'm sorry, there was no in between aspect of that. You directly.
But here's the thing: there was only one path. They're in my way, so the only thing I could do without killing them was put them to sleep. And they decided, oh look, water. Hey.
Yeah. Let's see.
Their fault.
Whatever you have to tell yourself. All right, so just popping up a list of what these particular individuals rated as the best indie games. We have The Binding of Isaac Rebirth.
That's a good one.
Fury.
I haven't played that.
Or Furry.
I think
Furi. You got Braid. Super Hot. I remember that one. Didn't play it, but I remember it. Rinse and Shine. Hotline Miami. To the Moon. Rogue Legacy. This is how you know that I'm just a mainstream basic bitch, because I don't recognize half of these. Not even half of these. All of these. I know like 3. Super Meat Boy.
Yes, that's a fun one.
Bastion. This War of Mine. The Stanley Parable.
Oh god, I've seen so many people be assholes in that game. It's like Stanley took the door on the right. I'm gonna go left. I said right, bitch.
I said the right. Enter the Gungeon. My bad.
What? I was going to say, what word are you trying to say?
Gungeon. Yeah.
Okay.
The Talos Principle. Don't Starve. Outlast.
Oh yeah. Oh my god, Outlast.
Fez.
Oh. God.
Causing PTSD.
A bit, yeah. Oh my god, that game.
Dust.
What?
Papers, Please. Inside Limbo.
feel like I've heard of that one.
Shovel Knight.
Oh, that's a good one.
Rocket League. I feel like that's too popular to be an indie game.
Well, indie games are made by indie developers. So like even if, just because it's popular doesn't mean it's not indie.
So
like
who was the developer that they weren't big? Like that thing is big.
well, it is now. Rocket League was made by what do you mean by? Psionic. But yeah, no, it's like yeah, let's see. Yeah, it's basically mostly known for just Rocket League.
Okay, then that makes more sense. Celeste.
I feel like this is gonna be a long list of games.
It's 50. So
Oh Jesus.
Rocket League was 24. We already said we Stardew Valley is 25. So we're halfway there.
Yeah,
we got Undertale.
Yep, there it is.
Owlboy.
Oh, no, that one.
Hollow Knight.
Another good one.
Cave Story.
Sounds familiar.
Into the Breach. Let's see. Oh, here we are. Darkest Dungeon. Dead Cells.
Now we're getting to the games I have not heard.
Guacamelee 2.
I've heard of that one.
I think that okay. That all right.
I've heard of that one. Goddamn.
Devil Daggers. I already said Celeste. The Forest.
Oh yeah, no, the Forest is good. That's a good one.
Dusk. We already hit Subnautica. Pony Island. Doki Doki Literature Club.
Oh my god, that mindfuck.
Disco Elysium. Amnesia: The Dark Descent.
Great game. If you want if you want a starter horror game, I recommend Amnesia: The Dark Descent. It is a great horror game, and just good game overall. It's an old game, but it's fun.
What Remains of Edith Finch.
Heard of that one.
Nuclear Throne.
That
Getting Over It with Bennett Foddy. Hades. I remember when that was on sale.
I heard that's a good game.
The Among Us.
Hey, Among Us.
Return of Arbra Din.
Nope.
Spelunky, which I only know about because of AGS.
Yeah.
And to round us out, Cuphead.
Oh. Yeah, I can see that. Did they get a show?
They did get a show.
Oh, well. Yeah.
It is concerning, to say the least, but yes, they did get a show.
It's always interesting when games get TV shows. It's like, is it gonna be good or it's gonna be trash? Look at you, Halo.
Because didn't they not use?
They did not. They just used the names and the looks, but they did not look into any of the source material, games or novels.
They didn't want to. That's what it was.
They shot themselves in the foot with that one.
So I don't know. I feel like it's almost they were like, oh, we want something recognizable that people will come for the name and then be like, oh, but we don't want to actually put more, because I feel like there's more stuff that goes into it if you stick to the source material, whatever. Like you have to
there are so many stories that were in the novels that they could have done for the TV show. Like it didn't even have to be about the Master Chief. Is Master Chief the most recognizable Spartan? Yes, but there are so many great stories just within the Halo universe that they could have done.
Just give us live action Red versus Blue and call it a day.
I would love that.
And they have more than enough. All they have to do is just recreate the episodes, just call the guys up, tell them we want to do this, and there you go. Also, we need professional abridged series.
Yes.
That is a market that we need.
Though I feel like the way the abridged series are done adds to their charm.
Nah, we need professional bridge
Okay.
series. Because it's the same thing. Like, you get a bunch of, like, it's more so of, like, there's not enough voice actors, which does not make sense, in my opinion, especially now where there's just so much access to people who want to pursue voice acting and the need for it, especially with the amount of anime, the amount of games, the amount of like animation. There is so much stuff that we need more voice actors in, because don't get me wrong, I love all the ones that are working now, but we need more, because as much as I love hearing the voice of like Kirito and like 7 other people, it would be nice to be like, oh, that's a nice new voice, versus like it's just the same like 20. I was like, I know you guys exist. I've been on TikTok. I've heard these dudes' voices. They exist. Go make money doing it. Same for the ladies. I've heard a lot of like voices where I'm just like, I don't know what this video's about. You just sound great. Make things for us, please. Thank you. But
Though
not
always...
ASMR people. You
Yeah.
guys can go screw yourself.
Yeah, I never understood the whole like thing with ASMR.
It drives me up the wall. Like, I enjoy sounds, obviously, but in exaggeratory sounds like that, where it's like, ASMR is what you do to annoy your sibling.
Yeah.
I don't...
Specifically when your sibling's trying to sleep.
Well, just in general, like when you make a sound that they don't like, and then you keep doing it in an exaggeratory way and just make it worse, and that's tapping on the microphone, that's wet sounds, that's crunching, and like, I don't want to hear these things. Like, it makes me want to
Dragging
fight
your nails across a blackboard.
Yeah, no, you're asking to get punched in the throat is really what it is. That is a cry for violence. It's not a cry for help, it's a cry for violence. You are saying, I woke up and all of my subscribers have subscribed to the channel of violence, and we want all the smoke.
After what is how many people do you think even remember what a blackboard is?
Enough.
I hope.
It only because of the sense of like, they didn't go anywhere, like they're still around. Like,
you just don't. You see more whiteboards these days than blackboards.
Well, yeah, because blackboards are Satan's spawn. They're from the devil himself, and not even the devil himself. It's from worse. It's from God. Cue angry religious folks. So it's like, yo, can you like not? It was like, also, to not know what a blackboard is rough. But this is, I say that, but then there's a video of someone going around talking about a landline. So
oh my God.
I can't even like stay in that joke, because I don't know if this woman was joking about this description that she was describing or not, but the fact that the idea of making it a joke and that it would be viewed as funny and or serious is the concerning part. Like, we are at that point that no one knows what that is. And I'm like, but how? Grandparents are still around. My like aged parents are still around. They still have landlines. Like, what?
Yeah, I don't know. It's like, I understand that cell phones have become like the main form of phone communication, but it's just like there are still people that have landlines or prefer landlines.
Yes. So it's just, it's wild. That is where we are, to saying. But with that wraps us up. That puts us at our lovely whopping hour of just talking about nonsense to help you pass the time, help you get through the day, start the day, what have you.
Start out with isekai, ending with old age.
Old age. Yeah. It's great. This is this is my track. This is where I want this to
Yeah.
go. Like, this is how I want the rest of the episodes to be. We start somewhere and we end up completely in a different universe of where we started the topic. That's the goal. It is for fun. It is to have something that helps you get away from all of the unnecessary and negative life that is existing currently. So now for the annoying stuff, check out the Reddit. Same name will be in the description. If you would like to reach out to me for any reason to talk about an episode, pitch an idea for an episode, be on the episode, hit me up on Instagram under Dragons Fury 93. Again, will be in the description. Infernal does not like to be bothered, so we won't have any of his stuff. Also, he won't know what to do with it, so we'll just leave it with me. As well as we build our community, we still need to know what the fans are going to be. So check out that poll on Reddit to put in your submission, as well as your ideas as well. So when that takes off, we can open the Discord. It's made. We just need people. We just need people. So if you've made it this far and you hear about this, send me a message. We can get you added to that Discord. We are looking to do lives in that Discord, so we'll be recording there, posting clips, memes, etc. Stuff. You know what podcast people do. I think. I don't know. I just do this for fun. So, until next time, I'm Dragon. That's Infernal. And we will see you next time.